Did you build this?
Yeah.
Oh wow, awesome.
It's all custom built.
Wow. I like the side doors. That looks good. All the speakers, tweeters, clean.
Yeah, it's a lot of work.
Turn it down and give me a good intro and walk around of what all's in here.
Got 2 Incriminator 18s on Skar 4500 by 1. Got a Denim 2500 by 4 on 10 6.5 Skars and 1.8 highs off the radio.
Okay.
It's work in progress.
Oh yeah,
we getting there.
Yes sir. I like how you did it. This is very different because I've never really seen somebody do that. You have a port. It looks like a third sub spot, but it's your port facing up. Is that just how you did it? You didn't want it from the back or the side? Or?
Yeah, that's it.
That's how it worked out.
Room and everything. That's just kind of the way.
Okay.
And
your window can open up back there. Does it play? How does it react to the bass when you have that window down? Is it louder, or what do you think?
All the bass goes out the back window. Yeah.
Okay.
Now it kind of hits the roof and it kind of comes this way and it bounces off the back.
Yes, sir.
Way, so
Gotcha. Okay.
It ain't bad. Like I said,
man.
It's work in progress. And I'm gonna try and cram 2 more in here, but I don't think. I don't think the windows will hold it.
Oh man, it probably popped something.
Yeah.
What vehicle is this?
It's a 1990 GMC Jimmy. Okay. Full size 4-wheel drive. Just like K5 Blazer, but Jimmy.
Okay. And you said you built the box. It looks good. Triple baffle.
Yeah.
What is that? A 8 or a 10-inch flare? 10-inch. Okay.
Yeah.
And it's tuned to
36.
36. Okay.
It's where I run best at 36.
Yeah. All right. And what are the subs rated at power-wise?
RMS is 1500.
1500. Okay. All right. Awesome. Well, thanks for the demo, man. I know it was really hot out. I was privileged to meet you, and thanks for a good walk around. Thank you, man.
No problem. Thanks, man.
Whew. Yeah, it does look good. I like how you got the wooden design craft look all the way around the box. Yeah. Good.
I have my amps turned up.
Is it at 1 ohm, half ohm, 0.3? Where are you at?
I'm at 0.7.
0.7? Okay. You got a little amp fan there too. That helps a little.
Yeah, very little, but it helps.
Oh yeah. Go on and protect. Yeah. Don't worry about it, man. That's enough right there. I appreciate it, man.
Ain't no problem, man.
I'm JacobViral. I do daily cardio videos. Hope you enjoyed the build today. A little bit different with a short demo, but still got to see the common build of how he had his principal in his truck, his GMC Jimmy. Give it a like and give some good comment feedback in the section if you enjoyed the video, as well as let him know what you think. So video was a little short for a demo, so I got some things to discuss in this video. Before that, I just want to say thank you guys for always watching. And his demo was short because he just finished an SPL run, so his amp was really hot, his subs were hot, and he was just giving me a feel for what his build was, and he didn't expect me to come over, so it was a really hot day out as well. But anyway, thanks guys for watching on that. So don't forget, I'm also on Instagram and Facebook, so go ahead and add me on both of those if you haven't already. JacobViral, and subscribe. Alright, so I'm doing a shout out first. I do a shout out every single day. If you ever want a shout out, I also like to check out cardio channels as well, so if you got some videos of your build or others, I'll also check that out. Just let me know in the comment section with some good feedback. So today's going to go to Moses Salazar. He said, "Hey JacobViral, man, awesome videos always. Always look forward to watching your bass head videos. My name is Moses out here in New Mexico." Awesome, man. I'm really huge into cardio here, and I'd like to get a shout out. Awesome, Moses, man. I appreciate it, man. Thanks for being a subscriber. Good to see that people from other countries as well. So I'm in America, Savannah, Georgia location in Georgia. So nice to see you from Mexico, Moses. There's your shout out, man. So if anybody didn't know, I actually am stationed in Georgia, is where I live. Savannah, Georgia is where I live. So, all right. So, I have 3 things to discuss before I end this video. So if you ever have questions about cardio, I'm going to answer some questions some people have asked me, as well as some discussion about this build. But if you ever have cardio questions, feel free to ask in the comment section, as well as just in general for your build or others, or just things you're having issues about. I'll answer, or other people help you answer. Anything you got in general, we're here to support each other as bass heads, no matter how big or small your build is. No judgment. Maybe people in the comments will, but I'll never judge you. Alright, so amp cutting out. Just like in this build, this guy had amp issues. It's not an issue with the amp, it's just cutting out because of protection reasons, because you don't want your amp to blow. The main thing when amps are cutting out, it can be a good thing. It might seem like an annoying bad thing when your amp's cutting out, but usually amps cutting out is a protection, part of the protection system of how the amp isn't going to blow. So normally things that cause this: gets too hot, too low of wiring below impedance, or you have low rise if you're running below your recommended. So like if you're running at half ohm, you have low rise. This build particularly was at 0.67, so maybe near where his peak was, his amp was already hot, and it might have had low rise below that, and it could clip or protect, or maybe not protect, but cause the amp to cut off before it damages the components. Also, clipping causes that to cut off. Voltage and vibration, that's some of the things that causes an amplifier to cut off. So some guys, I've got plenty of people ask me in the past, say, "Hey Jacob, man, my amp keeps cutting off," and I normally ask them, well, what causes it to cut off? And majority of the time is they don't have a fan on it. They're running it below their wired impedance. The amp gets too hot, or it's normally when they're playing hard for a while and all of a sudden the amp protects. So normally if it's protecting before full tilt, or you know it's loud and then it's cutting off early, it's normally because you're probably playing a little too high. Turn the volume down a little bit, adjust the gain to non-clipping, and you should be good. Next thing, port location. Notice on this build, his port was a little bit different. He had 2 subs, and then the port was behind the 2 subs. Very unique and different. A lot of guys normally do air ports where the port's back, but I just wanted to briefly mention the reason maybe he did this. It was ideal, something different he wanted to do, but maybe not enough room in the back of your vehicle. So if you're considering a build, this might be a good option. If you don't have room and you want to have your the wall right against the back of your SUV or a trunk or whatever, maybe a port in the back facing up could be a good option. A lot of people also do ports on the side, or slots as well, slotted ports on the driver's side, or even passenger, different ways depending on what you prefer. It could be really musical. His build was definitely musical, I can tell. His cabin pressure was pretty much equalized throughout the cabin, so that was a benefit with that port location. Space limitation could be another reason if you decide to do it that way. So if you guys got some ideas about having ports on the top of a box in the SUV, no wall, give some feedback. I'll be happy to read, as well as others, I'm sure. Last thing, how much power should I put, Jacob, on my XXX? I just put XXX for etc. power for my RMS subwoofer of. Let's just give an example. You have a 1,000-watt subwoofer, RMS. How much amplifier power do I need to buy, or what do I need to put on it? So I always suggest normally to go bigger amp than your rated subwoofer. So I'd say a general rule is around 20%. Your number could differ. Some of the cardio gurus maybe give some feedback on this, but in general, if your amp subwoofer is rated at 1,000 RMS, probably give it a minimum of 1,200 watt amp, probably even a 1,500 watt amp, 20 to 50%. Because remember, you can always turn down that amp. You can tune your amp, and you you can always set that amp power to a certain level depending on where you are in the cardio system. So like you can clamp a certain amount of power you want, and if you're competing, you can always turn it up just to compete. So you never max out the amp. You never have to worry about heat buildup. You don't have to worry about clipping. You never have to worry about maxing out the amp. It's better to max out the sub before you max out the amp, because the amp is going to damage the amp and the sub. But the sub is only going to damage the sub from maxing out. Unless you blow it, then you have a coil issue and it could read and wrong and it could damage the components of the amp. But anyway, it can go both ways. But the common point of what I'm saying is usually you want to have more amplifier power than your sub can handle. That way you never max out your amp. I guess that might make sense and might not. I'm not perfect, guys. This is just cardio. I'm supporting and answering some questions people had for this video since it was a shorter demo. And that's all I got for now. Until next time. So stay tuned for more videos. JacobViral out. Thanks for always watching. And keep in mind, let me know if I say something wrong in the comments. Later.